Let us sing a song for everything that lives, a song for all humanity.
Welcome to our channel, Lightling Vision. I'm really happy you're with us today. As today, Mother, welcome Mother. I would like to ask you, what role does food have in our daily life?
That's a good question, and I can immediately answer. A big role, because we eat at least 2 or 3 times a day, and many people even more. I would say it plays, together with sexuality, if we are very honest, for the majority of us, it has the main role. And the proof is that we do it all the time, we eat. So you can say food plays a very important role in our lives, because we eat, as I already said, several times a day. But in fact, what we do not completely realize is that a big part of the role food plays in our lives is a purely psychological role. And the proof of this is that there have been people in the past and even nowadays. A book has appeared a few years ago that was written by a man who had not eaten for several years, and he said himself being a breatharian.
A what?
A breatharian. He was living on air. And that is true. That really exists. And that means that what we call physical elements in food, nutrients, oligo-elements, vitamins, minerals, it is a reality. But some men have proved us in the course of history and even nowadays, that we can, in some magical way, also we can have our so-called nutrients out of other elements in life, and one of those elements is air, and perhaps even light, sunlight. So eating food and having physical nutrients has its function in the life of man, and even, you might say, for many people, a necessity. But I dare to say the first necessity is psychological, and the second is physical. It is a reality, but it can be substituted by other sources of elements or of nutrients that are available in air and in light, sunlight. Now, I do not want to say that people should stop eating, because many of us are not prepared for that. The man who had written this book was probably in other lives, previous lives, already on this path or prepared for this step. And he can live without eating, just by breathing well, perhaps exposure to light. I have not read the book, but that is for the moment an exception. Even though others have shown in the past being able to do that, like mystics, several mystics in European countries, and the mystics of the East. They are very famous for that. But that is, as I already said, a faraway goal, or either an exception for most of us, or a faraway goal for some amongst us. The reality is that most of us every day eat, even several times a day. And I underlined that it is, if we analyze this question from a more profound point of view, you will see that this is It has a physical function. There are nutrients in it, there are vitamins, there are minerals, there are calories that you can burn to have energy. But in the first place, I have observed that it has a psychological factor that we much too often neglect. And why do I tell this? Because the psychological factor enters very strongly into our reflection when we observe the difference between healthy food and unhealthy food. If we only take into consideration nutrients and calories, then you can say that even unhealthy food can do quite a good job, because there are many calories in it, and if you eat a bit salad with it or fruit, you can also have your vitamins, because basically the body does not need so much food to stay in good health. Unless you eat very, very unhealthy and never touch fruit, never touch salads, never touch anything living fresh in your life, yes, and even then you can go very far, as has been shown by prisoners in the past and perhaps even nowadays, who get very bad food very often and stay alive. So we cannot say it's only the quality of the food that does the work. The body seems to be able to cope with many situations, with bad food, with lack of food, with food that lacks a big part of the nutrients that we should get. If you analyze the human state of being and living all over the planet, there are quite a lot of people who do not get what we call their daily ratio of nutrients. There are many who do not, or partly. So saying that to stay healthy we need this or that, yes, that is true in the form of an ideal, perhaps, but for many of us on the planet it's not the daily reality. And we still stay more or less alive and in good or bad shape. I would say in the modern world, people get far more sick from bad food than from lack of food. And then we can say, what is bad food? Well, bad food is food that lacks vitality, that lacks fresh living energy, that's processed food, food that's too much cooked, an abundance of meat, of milk products, or other kinds of food that contains less sun energy. But I will come back on that part of food. So food is a very complex situation of eating habits, of things that are available or are not available in the life of man, of things I eat and things I do not eat. So I have to come back sooner or later on interior reasons, on psychological reasons, because on the outer plane food is a very complex, varied question. So, as I already said, so many people lack food or partially lack food. How many people really today eat the ideal diet? Well, you would agree with me, not much. Then how do we stay healthy? How do we keep living? We're all alive. We're all more or less healthy with some sickness or more or less a body that functions more or less well, but we are still alive. We seem to cope from day to day. How is that possible? If we agree that most of us do not eat in the most ideal way. Well, then there must be something else, another factor in our life that keeps the balance, or that keeps us alive, that keeps us going. Now, to deepen out that factor, I think you naturally have to look inside. Because if you look outside, as I already said, nothing works very well. Many people in the developed countries try to eat every day the most healthy they can. They add some salad, a fruit, but they know that basically they fill up their lives with coffee, milk and sugar, with Coca-Cola, with a peanut butter sandwich if they're too frustrated. You understand? That's the truth. Even with alcoholic drinks, if things get worse in their life. So you cannot say that healthy eating keeps us alive. Because for me there's other things, there's something else that keeps us alive. Because healthy eating, almost nobody does. And then I come back to the question, why do you eat the way you do? And then there was a Greek philosopher, I have forgotten his name. I'm sorry, I do not remember who it was. But I remember that he had said, you are what you eat. And many nowadays food philosophers have translated this phrase by saying, what you take in, that's what you will become. There is some truth in it, and I will talk about it in another video. But I would also like to inverse it and say, no, you will choose what you are. Unless you have very restricted choices in your life, that happens in parts of the world. But let's say modern man, the average modern man, can, with the wages he earns, normally provide himself healthy food, at least a basic diet that's correct. Now you will see that with the money he has, he will choose, he will buy what he is. I can also tell you, show me what you buy every week and I will tell you who you are. You understand? Well, if you start with that point of view, you will understand better what food is. Whereas if you take it the other way around and you say, the food I take in has an action on me, which is true, but the me, the action food has on me, this me already was there before I took in the food. Mm-hmm. And I would say, this me already has chosen what it wants to eat. Mm. Now, why do I choose this and not that? Yeah. That is the question.
Yes, then you will tell us.
I will tell it in the next video.
Oh, this I cannot wait.
So I keep the suspense. I would underline that is important. To start having another look on food, on your food, and start analyzing, without judging, why am I attracted by this and not by that? And even if I oblige myself to eat it, because it's so-called healthy, then I should be aware that in fact I don't like it. And why do I prefer something else? That would be an interesting question for the next video.
And what we want to eat, because we want to be healthy also, tell about you can are.
Yes, because
so you every
yes, because the one that you call me is the one that says I should eat that because that keeps me healthy. Mm-hmm. And that I prefer, but I better not eat, or in small amounts. Mm-hmm. Well, this is kind of psychological makeup. Yeah. A kind of functioning. Mm-hmm. Well, that's you.
That's
and not your food.
We just cannot hide anything from you.
Well, I mean, you show it. You show it. Yeah. Why do you want to hide it? I see it. Now I can close my eyes, but even that is difficult. Because if I close my eyes, you will tell me, why do you close your eyes?
Okay, so that's good. We'll find out. We are what we eat. So who's the Greek
Yes.
philosopher? Is it Aristotle? No.
I have to
I
look.
have it on the tip of my tongue.
Okay,
but-
we will seek it. We will
Yeah.
search for it, because this man was a profound man
Yeah.
and was right. Yes.
Okay, so don't forget to subscribe if you want to know who you are just by what you eat and what you choose. So we'll see you very soon at the next video, and please just listen to this beautiful song that follows, and also visit the website so you can have like all kinds of beautiful writings about art that Mother wrote, and they're very insightful for any artist, musician, for everybody. So we'll see you very soon. Have a nice day.
Let us sing a song for everything that lives, a song for all humanity. Let us sing a song for everything that grows, members of one family. How can we forget why we're here on earth, sharing all the good and bad? How can we forget the one who gave us birth? Can't we try to understand? Sing a song for the world, sing a song for all that's living, a song for all humanity that's longing for a world in peace. A song for the world, sing a song for all that's living, a song about a light that shines, that takes away the darkness and despair. There is so much hope in many heads and hearts, a flame that never dies away. Many good-willed men and women so sincere, striving every single day, working most for free, do not need to be thanked. Feel what it is all about. A new world's being built, the old one falls apart. Put aside your fears and doubt. Sing a song for the world, sing a song for all that's living, a song for all humanity that's longing for a world in peace. A song for the world, sing a song for all that's living, a song about a light that shines, that takes away the darkness and despair. Sing a song for the world, sing a song for all that's living, a song for all humanity that's longing for a world in peace. A song for the world, sing a song for all that's living, a song about a light that shines, that takes away the darkness and despair. Sing a song for the world, sing a song for all that's living, a song for all a song